video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natasha and I'm a passionate linguist. And today's video is going to be about a very intriguing topic, which is me. Today's video is going to be about my story, my path, how I learned 5 languages, where I studied, how I studied. I'm gonna share all of that. As I shared in my first video, I grew up bilingual. I was born into a Russian-speaking family, and then when I went to school, I started learning Ukrainian. No one in my family spoke Ukrainian, actually. I remember having kids' books in Ukrainian and asking my great-grandmother to read them for me because I couldn't, because there were some funny letters that weren't present in the Russian alphabet, and she couldn't. She was saying, I don't understand what that is, I can't read it. And then I went to school and I learned to read and understand and speak Ukrainian very well. The year I went to school, the Soviet Union fell apart, and Crimea, where I was living, became part of independent Ukraine, so our official language was Ukrainian. Gradually, everything was switched to Ukrainian from Russian. Old media, radio, main TV channels. On TV, everything was dubbed in Ukrainian. If the movies or shows were foreign, like Friends, Sex and the City, the ER, everything we watched all of that in Ukrainian. And if I wanted to know what George Clooney was saying, I had to know some Ukrainian. But by that time, I was pretty much fluent already because I had it at school and I had it all around me. And this was my first experience in living in the language environment and learning the language from it, which I didn't even realize at the time. This is my bilingual story. Now to the foreign languages. I started learning English when I was 6. My mom took me to the language school. It was like, I don't remember, it was once or twice a week we had classes, like an hour-long classes. Where we were learning English, like starting from the alphabet, because I didn't know Latin alphabet. My mom was with me, sitting in the back, writing down everything we were learning with Cyrillic letters, because she didn't know any English. She knew Latin alphabet, but she didn't know how to write those words. So in order to get pronunciation sort of correctly, she was writing, basically transcribing it in the Russian letters. That was hilarious. If anyone would find those notebooks now, people probably would think she was insane. I continued studying English at school, but it wasn't very serious because unless you go to a specific English school, as a general subject, English is not taught very well in our public schools, so I wasn't making a lot of progress. Then I went to college, and that was like a serious breakthrough for me in English. Because we had English classes every day, sometimes twice a day. And this is also where I started learning German. Again, from the very beginning, from the alphabet, I didn't know a word in German before. And in 2 years, I was pretty much fluent. I would say English was on a better level at that time. We also had German classes every day. But in German, I was on a solid, probably B1 or B2 level. I didn't even know about those proficiency tests at the time. But at college, I could only get bachelor's degree, which wasn't enough for me. So after 2 years of college, I went to the university where I could get master's as well. Of course, I chose foreign languages department because I was already knowledgeable in the field. And my major was translation and social linguistics with English as a main language and German as a second language. And after 2 years at the university, I realized that it was all very good and strong with English, but my German wasn't going anywhere. Because again, at the university, the second language program was very weak. And with my 2 years of college, I already had way more knowledge than my classmates at the university. So I took a year break and went to Germany. This was again another experience of living in the language environment and absorbing it from all the sides. I was living in a German family. I was taking German classes at school. Then I passed the test in German for a very high grade. And in a year, I was on the level of the native speaker. People would recognize my accent, but they wouldn't place it as a Russian accent. People thought I was either from Poland or France, which was very flattering. And yes, I was completely fluent. I had dreams in German. I was thinking in German half of the time. And then I had to go back home and go back to my English major. And I thought, well, this is going to be challenging now because third year of university has a strong, serious program. And I decided to switch majors. I was still part of the foreign languages department, except my first language was German now and my second language was English. I picked up my English to a very solid, confident, fluent level very quickly in the first months probably. And then I graduated with solid knowledge in both of the foreign languages. After university, I was mainly using English for work because there is obviously more demand for the English language, and I was mostly working for foreign companies. My German did come in handy when I was working for a business journal, and we went to the chemistry expo to Germany. And I was also using German for communicating with my friends from Europe. Then I moved to the US, and of course, as good as my English was before that, it improved significantly. Living here, using English for work, having local friends, using English for my everyday life in all the aspects of my life, developed my English in all those directions. Because while I was still living in Ukraine, using English for work mostly and some entertainment, for entertainment I was consuming it passively, and then when I was actively using it for work, it was still very limited vocabulary. I had probably around 100 phrases that I was using from one project to another because it was basically the same thing over and over again. And the thing about the foreign languages is that your level is only going to progress as much as you need it to. So living back home, using English actively only for work, I had very limited vocabulary for work. I had probably some set number of phrases that I was using from one project to another because the subject of work was the same, and I didn't need any more. and then moving here and having the need to express myself on more topics, in more situations, in more environments. Of course, in the probably first 2 years, I made enormous progress, and I am still making progress. I constantly learn new words and new expressions, and learning a foreign language is a never-ending process. Now about French. I started learning French a couple of years ago here in the US. I went to the language school for the classes a couple of times a week. I took 3 months Linguist online marathon, and now I'm continuing studying on my own with apps and my textbooks. According to the online test, I am on a pre-intermediate level. I haven't started studying tenses yet, but I'll get there. I will get my French to the level where I can read books and be conversational. So that would be like B2, I think. And then I will start learning a new language. I'm not sure yet which one it will be. I'm thinking between Portuguese, because I love the sound of it, and between some of the Nordic languages like Swedish or Norwegian. I don't know why I need it, why I like learning foreign languages. Because it lets me see the world from very different angles. I'm gonna make a separate video about it, how different languages describe same things from very different perspectives. Knowing 5 languages, I can see that already, and I'm sure knowing more is gonna let me understand people better and see the world from very different sides, which I personally find fascinating. Okay, this is it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope it was interesting. Please share your story in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Next time we'll talk about how to learn a foreign language, where to begin, what to pay attention to, are there any parts you can skip or maybe not, and how to succeed in learning a foreign language. So if you're interested in that topic, subscribe to my channel to stay tuned. Thank you guys again for watching. Bye.